Good morning. Today I'm going to speak to you about time, and I believe that time is one of the most precious commodities, and time is something that we very much have resources to at the moment, and we ought to use it wisely and really use this time that we have to build things in our lives, to get things clear, to get things straight. I was listening to a song the other day called Vapor, and it really sobered my mind right up. It was really amazing, and it was this man who was written a song to do with the book of Ecclesiastes, specifically the part when it says a time for everything. So that's Ecclesiastes 3-9, and he was basically saying how this song, what he's about to sing regarding the words from the book of Ecclesiastes, there's a season and a time for everything, that to some this may sound morose and quite depressing, and for others this is going to be the very thing to propel you into changing how you're living, so that you start living and so that you start not wasting your time, and it activates you into action. When I listened to it, I actually felt the activation, because I kind of got the courage to think, do you know what, we're only here at such a time as this, which is a really hopeful, wonderful thought, that actually while we're here to do a duty, we're here for the King, we're here to contribute, we're here for the purposes of Jesus, we're here to spread the love and the good news of Jesus Christ, we're here to do that, to represent him the best we can. You know, what are we doing with our time that is enabling that? What are we doing with our time, and what time are you in? That's what I want to say to you. What are you doing with your time, and what time are you in? I'm going to read from Ecclesiastes, and as I read from Ecclesiastes, I just really encourage you not only to read it for yourself, but also to have a think about, what time am I in? What is God doing right now, and what time am I in? It says there's a time for everything, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. There are many different examples there in what I just wrote of various different times and seasons that you may be in. But I just really encourage you today to just take a minute and just read this for yourself. It's Ecclesiastes 3-9 or 3-8, but just go and read it for yourself and think, what kind of time am I in? What's God doing at such a time as this in my life? What is he doing in my life? What kind of time am I in? And how am I using my time? How am I utilising it? Because this is a precious commodity that I have. And we don't have to be hot and heavy about this. It's not heavy. His burden's light, right? But it's just something, I just really believe there are certain things, if we grasp and understand and have our attention to this time, where there's actually some really exciting possibilities of things that God wants to do, that he wants to share, areas where he wants to reveal things to you, you know. So let's kind of really not waste our time, not waste our times with our loved ones, not waste our time getting connected, not waste our time building up a skill or something that he's given us, so that when lockdown's finished we can kind of propel in that, because we've been practicing it and getting better and using our time wisely, like the most wisest man who lived, King Solomon. You know, let's listen to his teaching, let's come under it, let's take the nutrients out of it that we can, and let's try to really grasp and understand what season we are in. So spend your time wisely, go seek what kind of time you might be in, and I pray that God reveals something really wonderful and really clear to you, and it blesses you. God bless you.